Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we have to talk about the FBI because they just confirmed that they have been buying location data without a warrant. Now, here's what's going on. This is coming from Del Cameron of Wired, and where I'm cribbing this from, I think this is rather important. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, has now acknowledged for the first time that it was purchasing U.S. location data without obtaining a warrant. Meaning they were just going and buying this. They didn't bother to go through any of the legal checks to do this. Now, while the practice of buying people's location data has basically grown to be increasingly common here in the United States, especially since the Supreme Court reined in the government's ability to warrantlessly track Americans' phones nearly 5 years ago, the FBI has not previously revealed ever making such purchases. Now, I have done videos and podcasts on this one before, talked about it on my radio show, where we have the evidence of this, not just the FBI, but law enforcement as well. But this is the first time they've actually acknowledged this. The disclosure came yesterday during a Senate hearing on global threats attended by 5 of the nation's intel chiefs. Senator Ron Wyden, a Democrat of Oregon, put the question to the Bureau's use of commercial data to Director Christopher Wray. Quote, does the FBI purchase U.S. phone geolocation information? Wray said that his agency was not currently doing so, but he acknowledged that they had done it in the past. He also limited his response to data companies basically gathered specifically for advertising purposes. Quote, to my knowledge, we do not currently purchase commercial database information. That includes location data derived from internet advertising. I understand that we previously, as in the past, have purchased such information for a specific national security pilot project, but that has not been active for some time, end quote. Now, he also added that the Bureau now relies on, quote, court-authorized process, end quote, to obtain location data from companies. It's not immediately clear whether Wray was referring to a warrant, that is, the order signed by a judge who is reasonably convinced that a crime has occurred, or another legal device. Nor did Wray indicate what motivated the FBI to end the practice. And I think this is an important one because we have to understand there are multiple data brokers out there that are scraping information, from you via Facebook, other platforms, selling it to advertisers, and buying that information basically through brokerages is a very common practice. But there are other platforms out there that essentially pull this information from Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. Take your pick on cell carrier here in the United States, and this is the things that we have seen over the years where local police can simply just go in and say, hey, show me the location of cell phone X, and boom, there you are. You want to go stalk your ex-girlfriend? Go right ahead through one of these services. And so having the FBI director narrow the scope to say from commercial, meaning the advertiser platforms of the world as opposed to the direct draw platforms, is something that is very critical. And if there is follow-up on that to basically say like, hey, are you doing it universally or just from commercial providers, is one step of that. And to Del Cameron's point, if it's not clear whether the FBI basically is now referring to a legal device or the actual judge signing of a warrant, that is something else that I think needs to be really reviewed. Law enforcement needs oversight. They need overview. We have constitutional rights to privacy. And if I am not involved in some type of crime, nor am I suspected of being involved in some type of crime, nobody should be able to go and say, okay, give me Nick's location via his cellular carrier or anything else. We don't have good protections, even though we have a constitutional right to privacy. That has not kept up with the technological age. Our laws have not. Many of the laws that we have on the books were still written in the Reagan era, although many have come to light since, we got through the Clinton era with AOL and on and on and on, but we have a long way to go. So I hope the FBI has fully stopped this. Given that this response from Director Wray seemed a bit hedged, I doubt that they fully are, and we'll see if that comes to light. But this is why we have civilian oversight of law enforcement, military, and everything else. That's what literally the House and the Senate do, not to mention the appointees by the civilian government. And so hopefully this comes to light. Hopefully we get a full understanding of this, and hopefully it stops if it's continuing to go on, because again, he carved out specifically commercial sources, and there are plenty more than that. So we'll see what happens. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where you'll be tracked. Same with YouTube, but we're all on it, so feel free to subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.